die with the devil.
What's up, everyone? How you doing? Welcome to Motorcycle Madhouse Morning Mayhem. Yes, that is the title of this show. And, of course, Wake and Bake on our 24-hour radio channel coming up on September 1st. We'll be kicking off, and that one is going to be raw because they can't censor me on that platform. Anyway, I did a little video over on Instagram. If you're not over there, get over there. I put videos on there that are not seen anywhere else. And in Illinois, these morons, Pricksker, as I call them, the prick, came out with a mandate now that you have to wear masks in bars and restaurants. My question is, do you have to cut a little slit in there or something like that so you eat or drink? All I know is it's ridiculous. Again, it's a very serious virus. I get it. But the death rate is way, way, way down, and they got all kinds of different treatments. I truly believe that, and this has mostly happened in Democratic states, by the way. So all you haters, before you jump on there and say, oh, I just want to hear about biker stuff. You know what? This has to deal with biker stuff. And the reason why is I'm going to give you a perfect example how us lowly people are treated in the court system. The Hells Angels, Rhode Island, had to go to the Supreme Court, and I'll give you that story. Sad state of affairs. But anyway, it's a means to control people now. At first, nobody knew about this virus, what it could do, what it could cause, the whole 9 yards. But now as we learn more, it is getting ridiculous. Not only is it these restrictions being placed on businesses to drive them under, I think it's an election ploy. I really do. And if you really dig down deep, look between the lines, you'll see what I'm seeing. Problem is, a lot of people in this country are programmed. They're programmed to a specific party, if you will. Me, I'm independent. I look at the person, see their record, see if they're BSing me, and then maybe I'll vote for them. I like voting for people that actually carry through on what they say they're going to do, which is not many of them. But anyway, they're destroying the economy here in Illinois. Then you got all these damn riots now in Kenosha, Wisconsin. They're burning everything up, acting a fool. I always say they let them out of their cages, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to get that, because I'll probably be called racist again. I'm used to that one. Racist Hollywood, that's who he is. BS. But anyway, they don't seem to have a problem with them being out there acting a fools. But the media, and I told you this was going to happen, is going all off about how many cases came out of Sturgis. So far, I think it's under 100. And what was there, 460-something thousand people there? They scaled down Laconia. Nobody is able to have any fun. Everybody is hell-bent on making people robots. And us as citizens are too damn stupid to see what's happening. Sad state of affairs when this happens, when you see people giving up their freedom, their rights to people like the Prickster in Illinois. It is sickening, and in New Jersey and in New York. My question is, see, in Illinois, everybody outside basically Chicago, they don't vote for them. But because they got a population of like 6 million people, they kind of take over the state. And I'm sure that's the case in New York. I'm sure that's the case in California, New Jersey. We all fall under occupied territory because these people do not believe in freedom. They really don't. They want power. That's all they want. That's why they want to do in mail-in voting. I'll tell you what. Cook County, Illinois. Democratic machine, we call them. They are some of the most corrupt people there are. Right now, the Illinois House Speaker is under the FBI watch. He's been named in a scheme with ComEd. But yeah, they keep on voting for these people. And then they wonder why Illinois is going to hell. We have one of the fastest rate of people leaving the state of all the other states. And now this. Yeah, I'm kind of upset about it because it's getting real ridiculous. I hate the hypocrites in the media. I really do. None of them, you know, it used to be a time when people cared about facts. It's no longer the case anymore in this country. You got left, you got right, and no middle ground where people give both sides of the damn story. That's just like my local paper. They did a fact check on the RNC, but God forbid they did a fact check on DNC. And these elite pricks really think people are listening to them. They really think people are taking their damn advice. They're not. They really ain't. It's sickening that these elites are running this country. But you know what is even more sicker? We, the people, allow it. We allow to be dragged through the mud. We allow them to control what we think through the media. One of the biggest things the media is having a problem with right now, and this is actually a good thing, people ain't going to them for their news anymore. They're going to third party or they're going to creators. Like me, I like covering the biker news. Why? Because the mainstream media will not give bikers or clubs at that a fair shake. That's what I try to do on this show, is to give them a fair shake. Now, does that mean I'm always going to back what motorcycle clubs do? No. Because if I did that, I'd be no better than the mainstream media. That upsets a lot of people. But if you want news, an opinion that's going to try to be down the middle, you can't expect any less than me trying to be down the middle. Now, do I have biases? Yes, I got biases, because people are going to put there, I got biases. Very true. I actually got my hater channel, man, my hater channel. This dude will not show his face. Well, I want to go live and debate. Well, we'll go live then, you jackass. But you gotta show your face. Shit, I like to do it on Zoom. He was complaining the other day. Well, you know, you talk about protocol stations, and then why the hell you send them over to Black Dragon? Well, it's very easy to answer that question. Very easy. Black Dragon was a national president forever. He dealt with 1%er clubs all over the United States, all the majors, every one of them almost. Wherever the Black Sabbath has a chapter, BD and the Nationals worked with each other to get those chapters going. So why wouldn't I say, well, go over to BD's channel? He's put over 800 and something videos out. I know for a fact, because I've talked to some of the clubs, most of their prospects read the Prospects Bible. But that's something you guys and you haters wouldn't understand, because you're nobodies anyway. You know, this guy is like, dude, you got 22 who the hell are you? Show your face. What's your experience besides running off at the mouth about, you know, me? I love it because it gives the views and everybody comes over to my station. I love that stuff. You know, Black Dragon, I don't know if he likes it or not. He gets pissed about it, but you got to let that shit roll off your shoulders, because he's a nobody. They don't know what they're talking about. But that's the reason why I send him over to his channel instead of some of these other protocol channels, because, one, they don't have the experience in this lifestyle. They only been around a few years, some of them. And it's like, why would I send somebody over there when I can send them to a national, former national president of an old school club? It just don't make sense to me. And two, a lot of these guys on some of these other channels never dealt with nationals of 1% clubs. I'm talking Angels, Outlaws, Pagans, whoever is in the area where they had to put down. They didn't deal with them. So how are you going to say you know protocol if you never dealt on that kind of level or you haven't been in the scene? Yeah, I get it. It's 2020 and all that kind of shit. And it's hard to speak on what goes on today because, God forbid, it's changed so damn much. But, I just wanted to address that issue. But going back to the biker news and stuff, and people do get upset. Well, all he does is read. You know what? It's a radio show, and it's funny. I get people saying, well, sometimes it's real long, the show. This ain't made for YouTube and Facebook. You're watching the recording of a radio show. This is a radio show for listeners on our biggest platform, our wheelhouse, Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. That is our wheelhouse. I do the YouTube again and the Facebook again. For those who are on those platforms, they get to see the show, how it's done, what it's like behind the scenes, that kind of crap. Now, Wake and Bake, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out, how to do it if I just stream it live or how to do it because there's copyright laws. See, I got the licensing over on the radio station, but I'm not going to sit there every damn episode I upload on Facebook or YouTube and give them licensing and all that stuff. That's just a big headache. So you can either have news that is attempted to be down the middle, or you can get into this tribal stuff and get your news from MSM or mainstream media. The story I'm about to cover, the Hells Angels one going to the Supreme Court. I've said time and time again, and this is where elites get treatment that is good, and us peons get treatment that's bad. This judge has an old man that's actually been a cop inside the Hells Angels clubhouse. How can you not be biased on that? That's the big question. And one we're going to go through the news article on, and then at the end, I'll do my final thoughts on it. So, let's get going on the news, baby. It's that time. One I was talking about, this out of the Providence Journal. We've actually done a bunch of stories on this one. The Rhode Island Hells Angels had asked Supreme Court to order judge to leave this case. And that's the judge right there, Judge Christian E. Rogers. Again, Katie Mulvaney has been covering this one. The alleged leader of the state chapter of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is asking the state Supreme Court to direct the judge presiding over his case to step aside based on an appearance of bias due to her husband's 24-year career with the state police. Again, this is one of them guys who's actually, from what I know, has been inside the clubhouse. Now she's going to say, well, I ain't biased. That ain't going to affect. Bull. You're sleeping with this guy. While you're sitting there in bed at night, reading your little freaking books, him pulling on his pecker, he's going to be telling you, well, this is what they're about. This is the way it happened in the clubhouse. They do this, they do that. They're a criminal organization. How is that not bias? I'd like somebody to answer that. How is that not bias? Joseph Lancia, 29, who authorities cast as the president of the Hells Angels in Rhode Island, is seeking for the court to review and vacate Superior Court Judge Christian E. Rogers' rulings in which she refused to recuse herself from sitting on a case accusing Lancia of shooting a man outside the club's 161-163 Messer Street clubhouse. Rogers has twice rejected Lancia's claims, which center on the status as the wife of a Littleton Compton Police Chief Scott Rains, who retired as a state police lieutenant in February of 2018. Now, this is another thing that really upsets me is he has to go to the state or to the Supreme Court and waste all that money. By the time this case is done, you're looking at $250,000. And what's even more concerning is if he does get convicted, this judge is going to throw the book at him for going through all this stuff. Going through this stuff to protect his own rights, the judge is going to turn on him and say, you know what? You get the max because you're a scumbag. That's what she's going to say. Because he challenged her. This happens every day in court. Every single day where people don't have the money to fight the system like these rich people do. Chief Raines' past employment with the state police ended over 1 year before the events leading to the criminal charges in this indictment. Has no connection, real or reasonably perceptible, to the conduct of this trial or the pretrial proceedings that would create the appearance of impropriety, she wrote. Again, you're shitting me, right? You're sleeping with the dude. You're going to be talking about the case. He's going to be giving you opinions on what he thinks. Don't tell me there's not. Don't tell me. You're damn right there's impropriety in this case. Anybody can see it. Her second ruling came after she agreed to hear additional arguments out of an abundance of caution. So he's already going to the Supreme Court. You imagine if he gets convicted and it goes to appeals. A good lawyer on appeals can get this. So I don't understand why she wants to be on this case. Why just not recuse yourself and give it to somebody else? Save everybody headaches. Save everybody money. State prosecutors have dismissed. Of course they have. Because they're probably out there having lunch with it. You know what? Judges and prosecutors, they're always freaking pulling on each other's peckers, man. Saying they are irrelevant to the charges and are clearly just a ploy to create the appearance of conflict. Well, you know, if I was a regular citizen looking at this, I'd see the conflict. We are reviewing the petition and will respond in court. Blake Collins, spokesman for the Attorney General's office. You know, I might bash on these people out there doing the protest and all that other stuff. But look at what you guys do, the way you handle things. There cannot be two tiers of justice in this country any longer. This thing's going to blow up into a full-blown freaking civil war here because of what you people are doing. Lancia is asking the High Court to review Rogers' rulings, arguing that actual improprieties occurred that would lead a reasonable person to question the judge's impartiality. He asserts that Rogers should automatically disqualify herself from the case based on 3 separate grounds in which Rogers violated the state code of judicial conduct. He alleges a significant violation when Rogers failed to disclose that Raines had a history with the state police tactical team. Information that his lawyer says was revealed in Rogers' first filing April 29th. He argues that Rogers was barred from issuing that ruling by executive order by Superior Court Presiding Justice Alice B. Gibney at the outset of the coronavirus pandemic, which he says gave him until May 29th to file a supplemental brief. Finally, he argues that, quote, by interposing facts into the record, Rogers ultimately buttressed the state's objection to his recusal motion. In doing so, Rogers became an advocate participant rather than an impartial trier of fact, requiring her recusal. He was arrested on June 19th. That's the background, as part of an investigation into reports of shots fired. Authorities say he fired a shot at Richard Starnino, as he drove his truck by the club, striking the car but not injuring anyone. Lancia says that Starnino, who was charged with assaulting a Hells Angels member's ex-girlfriend shortly before the incident, had persistently threatened him and pointed a gun as he drove past. There you go. He was indicted on charges of assault with intent to murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, discharging a firearm while committing a crime of violence, and carrying a pistol without a permit. More of this in my final thoughts. My God. Next story here. Very interesting. Very interesting. And I was talking in one segment about how different sets do things, the white set, the black set, and all that stuff. A correctional police officer charged with falsifying records by concealing his membership in an outlaw motorcycle gang. This out of Trenton. The Attorney General announced that criminal charges have been filed against a senior correctional police officer at Northern State Prison who allegedly falsified a New Jersey Department of Corrections record to conceal his membership. Ruben Morales, 41 of Orange, New Jersey, was charged by complaint summons on August 13th with third-degree tampering with public records or information, and fourth-degree falsifying or tampering with records. The charges are the result of a joint investigation by the New Jersey Department of Corrections Special Investigations Division and Attorney General's Office. He was suspended from his job as a senior correctional police officer within the Department of Correction. He allegedly has been a member of two nationally recognized outlaw motorcycle gangs, the Thug Riders and the Thunderbirds. Like I said, different sets, they might allow cops in and why others don't, There's firefighters that I know have been going through stuff like this. In Florida, there was one because they were a member of a 1% club. But this has to do with the cop being involved with the Thug Riders and the Thunderbirds. That's what they're investigating. As a state employee, Morales must renew his state-issue identification card every 3 years. The card identifies him as a law enforcement officer, grants him access to state buildings, and marks him as an emergency responder. In September 2019, at the time when he allegedly was a member of an outlaw motorcycle gang, Morales submitted an application to renew his identification card. It requires completion, certification, and submission of an application that answers several questions related to the suitability of the employee. It can carry a sentence of 3 to 5 and a fine up to 15 Gs, while fourth-degree charges carry a sentence up to 18 months in prison and a fine of up to 10 Gs. It's being prosecuted by the OPIA Corruption Bureau. Attorney General Grewal thanked the department. So we'll go more on that in the final thoughts. Now, biker group that supports law enforcement raising money for canines. Let's take a listen.
Like the shiny chrome and roar of a motorcycle. While groups of bikers might look rough and tumble, the Centurions have huge hearts. The group was founded in the 1970s with the mission of supporting law enforcement.
We have a passion for helping our law enforcement, making sure that they have the tools they need to do their jobs effectively and get home.
Local Centurions have pledged thousands of dollars to help support families of fallen officers, including a college scholarship fund for their kids. Now, for the second year, Centurions are pledging support to Fox 4's Working for Blue campaign. This time, funds will support an organization we profiled last year, Going to the Dogs, which supplies local law enforcement agencies canine vests to make sure those four-legged officers have the same level of protection as their handler.
I just feel really warm inside that I've done and I possibly have made a difference in the life of a canine, and the fact that they are protected, and that vest is bulletproof and stab proof, so they are anything's going to get them, that will protect them.
If you'd like to help, the Centurions Poker Run to benefit Working for Blue is Sunday, August 30th. Jump in the car or on the back of your motorcycle and enjoy some social distancing on the wide open road.
There you go, man. The Venturians helping with that. Canines, I love them, man. They're the smartest freaking dogs. Well, next to my pitties. You know, I'm a pit bull guy, and they got bad raps, but them shepherds and the rest, whew. I have a friend that actually trains them and really does a lot of work with them, and boy, are they gorgeous dogs. Anyway, let's go to the one I was crying about earlier in my monologue. Illinois updates COVID-19 safety guidelines for bars and restaurants. Waiting to hear this. After an uptick in cases of the coronavirus, Illinois officials, mainly the prick, have announced revised guidelines for wearing masks at bars and restaurants. Beginning Wednesday, August 26, patrons will be required to wear a mask during any interaction with waitstaff, food service workers, and other employees at bars and restaurants, including when employees take an order, deliver food and drinks on service tables. They're starting to freaking regulate every action that you are making. People that support this kind of stuff, you're freaking weird. You're freaks. Quote, Illinois residents continue to take important steps to protect the safety of our loved ones and neighbors. That's what they always do. Give up your freaking safety and security for, well, you get that, then you give up your freedoms. You know what I'm talking about. However, due to the recent uptick in cases, we must take additional precautionary steps when we are out in public. How much you want to bet after this freaking election's over, this is going to go away? Mark my words, unless he wins. Based on conversations and input from industry and business leaders, the state of Illinois is implementing updated guidelines which will allow restaurants and bars across the state to stay open while helping protect the health and safety of the patrons and staff. I think it was a gym out in New Jersey, isn't it? They converted it into a political headquarters or something like that. You know, they're just going nuts on them on the East Coast. That's why I can't stand Democrats, man. Going out for food and drink should not be a reason or excuse to let our guards down. You're an idiot. You know, these people are smoking idiots, baby. Yeah, I'm gonna go on to the next one. I'll just go nuts.
Surprise call to the Boys and Girls Club director
Another
Monday
good
morning
one.
brought a blessing. WDHN's Ileana Capion with the story.
Programs such as the Boys and Girls Club of Ozark run based off of donations and grants. This morning they received a phone call from Mayor Bunting about a surprise donation from the Infidels Veteran Riding Club here in Ozark.
The Infidels Motorcycle Club is a veteran-formed, veteran-based motorcycle club for patriotic Americans and our supporting allies.
When the Infidels moved their headquarters within the Ozark city limits, they met with Mayor Bob Bunting and fostered a relationship based on their philanthropic efforts. This got them involved with the Boys and Girls Club in town.
Children are the future of our society, of our culture, of our world. And most of us are all fathers, grandfathers, uncles. So we see the need to help better prepare our kids, grandkids, and those less fortunate.
At the beginning of the month, the motorcycle club hosted a poker ride thrown together in under 2 weeks because of COVID. However, they were still able to raise over $2,000 to donate to the Boys and Girls Club.
It was a total shock to us. We are so fortunate to receive this. This is almost a blessing in disguise. You know, I think we are all experiencing things this year that none of us expected. And so for them to walk in with a check was very exciting.
Moore says that 2 major fundraisers had to be postponed due to COVID-19. So donations of any kind are a blessing.
Rock and roll, man. That is the Infidels Motorcycle Club. Great job, guys, man, making us look good. Corey Graff's Wall of Shame, baby. 2 Harper Woods police officers fired for concealing, manipulating evidence in death of woman in custody. No, you don't think they do that, do ya? 2 officers were terminated Wednesday night for violating police department policy and procedure in connection to the death of a woman being held in custody, according to a city attorney. The deputy chief, John Vorgich, and patrol officer Michael Pino concealed and manipulated evidence, the Acton city manager said. Priscilla Slater was arrested June 8th and died on the 10th. The Harper Woods Department of Public Safety said the 38-year-old was found unresponsive in a holding cell. Medics tried to revive her, but it was too late. Police said medics immediately tried to revive her, but couldn't. They released a statement that Michigan State Police are still investigating the death. Quote, as you know, the death of Miss Priscilla Slater resulted in a great deal of activity within the city of Harper Woods. There were protests, unfortunate comments made by our former mayor, and of course, an ongoing investigation by the Department of State Police regarding the death. There was also a promise by city officials to remain transparent and accountable to residents. Unfortunately, our city has discovered that members of its police department attempted to conceal and manipulate evidence in the in-custody death investigation. As a result, the city has immediately terminated the following police officers: Deputy Chief John Vorgich and Patrol Officer Michael Pino. You are now in the wall of shame, baby. Let's do one more. Sad state of affairs, this one. Out of, what is this? Michigan Live. Firefighter, former police officer among 17 arrested in Flint area sex trafficking sting. A burdened firefighter who served as a former police officer with multiple agency is one of 17 people arrested in a months-long operation by the Genesee Human Oppression Strike Team, or GHOST. Matthew J. Hyde, 40, of Burden, is charged with child sexually abusive activity, accosting a child for immoral purposes, and using a computer to commit a crime. Schmuck. You're an idiot. You know what? They need to go medieval on you. He was one of the suspects arrested during the most recent operation. They talk about the other ones that were charged. There's 9 additional suspects had been charged but not yet arraigned. Quote, he had a 15-minute phone call with one of our decoys, noted Swanson. In his truck when he was arrested, he had 2 loaded firearms, a police ID, a police badge of which he was not associated with. Hyde also previously worked as an officer for Mount Morris, Clayton Township, and, of course, Genesee's County Parks Rangers. They told, Swanson said to Michigan Live, the Flint Journal, that Hyde also previously worked in the Marine Division for the County Sheriff's Office, but he was not certified as a police officer at the time. There you go, man. That's the wall of shame.
Here from Bagger Syndicate Cycles, just to let you know about the place that has the craziest hats on the market, apparel that's based all upon bikers, baggers, and brotherhood. And ladies, we didn't forget about you either. Between tank tops and baby doll tees, we have it all. Now just go to baggersyndicatecycles.com and check it out. Mwah.
Okay, man, here we go. My final thoughts, baby. So, can you see why I'm a little peeved at what's going on, where the Hells Angels president has to go to the Supreme Court to get this broad to recuse herself? She's already shown bias in this. She's already broke the rules of the court. So you're going to tell me again that she ain't going to listen to her husband? BS, man. And that's why I cannot stand the two-tier system of justice in this country. If you have money, you're getting out of anything, man. Or you're going to get a lighter sentence. But if you're guys like him or me or you don't get a fair shake. And like I said, he's been putting this judge through all kinds of stuff. Guaranteed, and I'm guaranteeing you because we're going to keep following the story, if he gets convicted, she is going to throw the book at this guy for putting her through this stuff. And judges are not supposed to be vindictive. They should understand a defendant's right to a fair trial and to do whatever they have to do to prove their innocence. That is guaranteed in the Constitution of the United States. But judges don't follow that. See, that's why I hate activist judges, man. I despise them. They're worse than the mainstream media. They swear an oath to the Constitution, these judges, to do justice impartial for everybody in this country. But it never happens that way. They're always pushing their agendas. You know, just like the Ninth Circuit, or the circus, that is a complete joke, that court. I really wish they would break that court up. Because I feel sorry for some of the states in its jurisdiction, like Idaho, Arizona, New Mexico. Because all the Ninth Circuit does is represent California's values. And it shouldn't be that way. Now, you got to ask yourself, if there's no bias, why the hell won't she just recuse herself? Why go through all the headaches? Why? If you can't see that and what she's doing by not recusing herself, something's up. I guarantee she has a hard-on for this guy. Oh, you put me through this, and this is what you guys are about. My husband said so. Guarantee that's what's in her mind right now. How is he supposed to get an impartial trial? He ain't with a judge like that. Once the trial begins, next thing you know, she's overruling every freaking thing that the defense wants to do. Every objection that comes out from that defense attorney's mouth, she's going to say, nope, overruled. That's not impartial. That was just like them judges down in Waco, man. Unfreaking real. By the way, has anybody heard about the civil cases? I know some got thrown out, but I haven't heard the rest. I gotta freaking ask Popeye about that. But that was not impartial freaking justice down in Texas either. Right now, you got the case where a guy was licensed by the state of Texas, and everybody heard of this one. Got pulled over, and now he's a criminal because he was just wearing a Banditos vest. What happened to freedom to associate with whoever you wanted to? That's justice? No, that ain't justice. Too many times, a judge gets close with the prosecutors. It's never the defense attorneys, trust me. It's always with the prosecutors. That's why you see judges granting whatever the hell they want them to grant. Hopefully, the Supreme Court sees this for what it is. I don't know which Supreme Court justice has jurisdiction over this case. Usually it goes to one, and then they make a decision, whatever the hell it is. Or, you know what, maybe it's all heard. I don't know. But one thing I do know, this ain't an impartial trial. No, thank you. Go to our next one about that corrections police officer. I don't know if it's like Illinois, where if you work at the county jail, you're a cop, and you're licensed as a cop, and then your corrections. I don't know. But people are going to say, well, these clubs, they accept cops, and maybe they do, man. Maybe it's their club. It's their club. Well, you know, 1%ers ain't supposed to have cops in it. I told you. Different sects do different things. And that's one thing people need to understand is just because a white club does it one way don't mean a black club ain't going to do it a different way. And like I said, BD really explained that to me really good. Was black folk, a lot of the jobs they get are in corrections. So, if you ain't in the club, don't worry about it. That's what I can tell you about, man. It's their thing. If they're going to ride with cops, they're going to ride with cops. I don't know what to tell you guys, so don't be killing my comment sections with that. It's nuts when that happens. It was cool with the infidels we're doing for the Boys and Girls Club. Also, that canine thing. Really love canines. I really do. But you know, the wall of shame is the wall of shame. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to get over onto our radio station. Check that out. I don't know if I'm going to move servers or not. I'm still looking into that right now. We're going to premiere September 1st, but motorcyclemadhouseradio.com is going to be active to whatever platform we go to. I just want to give you guys good music, good shows, all that stuff. Corey Graff, he's really working on his stuff. Visit his Instagram and all that, and ours as well. Visit us on Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. But thanks for listening to the show. Yes, I'll talk to you guys later, man. Take care. So you want to know how to support the show? Go over to our support store and get some awesome looking clothing. We got Rock On hats, Rock On shirts. The Rock On hats are embroidered. Get your exclusive merchandise now. Rock on. Don't forget to go over to HarleyLiberty.com. Get all your motorcycle club news. What's happening in the scene? We have a new article or articles every single day over at HarleyLiberty.com. And don't forget the sister site, BikerLifestyleMagazine.com. If you're into all that kind of manufacturer motorcycling news, motorcycle rallies, and bikers helping the community, motorcycle club editorials, and more. And don't forget to visit us on Facebook. Get involved in the conversation. Watch videos done on Motorcycle Madhouse and more. Also, we have Instagram. Yes, Instagram. We have material that is not seen anywhere else. So don't forget, get on our platforms, check out your daily biker news. Rock on.
Hey guys, this is Kara from Bagger Syndicate Cycles. I just want to let you know about a place where you can get the greatest apparel, top of the notch, all about baggers, bikers, and brotherhood. And ladies, don't you worry, we didn't forget about you. Check it out at baggersyndicatecycles.com.
Radio show is now available on Spotify and all major platforms, including iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, and more. Don't forget to become a subscriber on any one of these platforms so you can be notified right away when our weekly episode is uploaded so you never miss an episode.
Hi, this is James Hollywood Machikari. Join our YouTube channel and get Motorcycle Madhouse and tons of videos related to the bikers. Join now by subscribing for free and become part of the Throttle today. Always free and always entertaining. Don't forget to visit us at www.harleyliberty.com for your daily biker news. Rock on!